Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. I'm at the after party for the one-night-only 10th anniversary concert of the musical, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and I caught up with the cast just minutes after the curtain rang down. I mean, we spoke that very first day of rehearsal.
Yeah.
What were the other rehearsals like?
Kind of fly by the seat of our pants.
Did you get any work done?
On Sunday night, we put some numbers together, basically like, what do we do tonight? We step, kick, what, you know. And then today we like stumbled through the show. That was it. I mean, like very minimal rehearsal.
What did tonight mean to you?
I just love that I got to revisit that part with all of the people that are the Bee to me. And, you know, we did the final number and I was singing and I was looking around and I got emotional because I was like, this would probably never happen again. And I was like, oh my God, you know, I just started to cry because it was such a special night and it was like riding a bike. We just sank right back into it and it was like, we've been doing this all along.
What did tonight mean to you?
Oh, it meant everything actually. Being able to come together for Spook in honor of her, but also just getting the gang back together and reliving all that joy and you know, it was just so special. It was wonderful. It was a really special evening.
What were rehearsals like for you? Because not everybody was together at the same time and you were all reminiscing.
I've been doing a lot of yoga in preparation for this. You know, it was interesting. Like, I thought that everybody else would remember everything. And so when I finally came back and I got into rehearsal, I was shocked that they also had big gaps in their brain, and I felt better about the fact that I don't have early onset Alzheimer's, so I felt good about that. But
when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was just so grateful. I was grateful that we could do this to honor Spook, to raise money for our family, and grateful that we could all be together, that we're all, you know, here and healthy and happy, and it was just all love, really.
And originally in rehearsal, what are your favorite moments of creating this show?
It was done very quickly. We wrote it for about 2 months in New York City, and then we went to the Barrington stage in the Berkshires, and we wrote the rest of it there. We didn't expect to. We didn't know whether we were going to have a first act, and we ended up with a whole show which we added to eventually. But we basically had a whole show, so it was a fun show to write. You know.
If you could sum up the best part of the experience of working on this show, what was it for you, Bill?
I never thought I was going to have a hit. I never thought I was going to have a show that made me money. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that a show this effortless and beautiful could make money like that. So I just love it.
What did it all mean to you? What do you remember emotionally about going through this show tonight?
What do I remember emotionally? Well, it was really nice at the end, talking about Spook and remembering her, and everyone was getting choked up, and it was just a beautiful moment, seeing all the alumni on stage and everybody that have been involved with the show for how many performances, tours. I mean, it was just, for me, it was just beautiful. I was part of the very beginning, and you see all the different barfies and all the different characters on stage, and that's just a beautiful thing to see how many people have been touched by the show.
Do you remember what you were thinking when you took your bow tonight?
I was thinking, I need a drink. That's what I was thinking.
That's a good one. I talked to you during rehearsals.
Yeah.
What was tonight like? We met the very first day.
Oh my gosh, it was just the most extraordinary night. I tell you, probably top 3 favorite nights in theater I've ever experienced. I am just beyond grateful and just feel full of love and hope.
Was it like a Broadway rock concert?
It was like a Broadway rock concert. It was, with like a lot of like kind of character actors acting like rock stars. We don't get that a lot, so it's sort of like,
You know, I caught up with you the very first day of rehearsal. You were all just sort of getting to see each other again. What was that week and a half like of just sort of revisiting, getting to see each other again?
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it was so hard to get to rehearsal because we kept wanting to talk and catch up. It was like, oh, wait, remember that time when we did this thing and then that happened? And we're like, and James was like, we got to get to rehearsal. We got to know what we're doing. We're like, oh yeah, right. Okay, show.
And tonight, of course, was in memory of Andrea, your stage manager. Talk about what tonight means to you.
Gosh, Spook was just the most extraordinary person, and to honor her and honor her children and her husband, it's what you want to do as an artist, and it was a way to really just celebrate her and to also give an amazing amount of money and just concern to an incredible organization. And she is exploding right now. She is like, ah!
Talk to you what tonight meant to you emotionally, of trying to put that all into perspective, because you're there doing it, but just remembering the good times on the first time around. And for Andrea, your stage manager.
Well, for a lot of us, it was our first Broadway show, and at the time, we started the rehearsals and we're, making friends, and even then we were like, this feels different than other shows. It feels like we're going to be friends for life, and we would say that we're like, oh, this is really amazing, and of course we didn't know that at the time that was true. And Spook, because we were so green, it was like we were coming to do this show. We didn't really know what was going on, and she sort of ushered us and wrangled us, and we were like a box of kittens, kind of all over the place. And she was so amazing and so patient and loving and wonderful with us. And it was such a blessing to have her, to keep us sort of on track. And we all just sort of had this experience together, and it was so wonderful. It really was.
When you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
The feeling of love from the audience, it was like a wall of love just rushing towards us. And to have all of the alumni to come and show up, just all these people that love the show and love Spook, it felt unbelievable. It felt palpable, that love.
How do you feel tonight?
Oh man, I don't know if I can quite put into words how I'm feeling. It was just such a special night. This was my Broadway debut 10 years ago, and to see how far all of us have come. This is my first family in New York, and we've all just grown in 10 years, and just to reunite with my first family, tonight was magical, and to honor a beautiful woman tonight was just so special. Yeah.
We spoke that very first rehearsal. Yeah. What were the rest of the rehearsals like?
Well, all of us didn't make all the rehearsals because we're all doing something different. So it's a little bit crazy, but it was also like a trip down memory lane, Most of the rehearsals we laughed, to be honest. And they were like, I guess we should rehearse the show. But we kind of just, just reminisced. It was great, yeah.
So you had everybody today, though, before the show, right?
Oh, yeah. And that was magical. We're like, I can't believe, it's been 2007 since the entire cast has been together. Like, most of us has been together here and there, but like tonight was the first time all of us have been together. It was great.
When you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
Yeah, I was very grateful. I was thankful and grateful, and I was very nostalgic, and it just made me really grateful for how far I've come as an artist, as a man, it's great, yeah.
Now, first, congratulations. First of all, how do you feel tonight?
I feel, I feel like I've gotten back together with my family. I think the Spelling Bee family will always be one of the closest and meaningful and silly and fun families that I've been so lucky to be a part of. And 2 days together, a week together, to just get this back up has been joyful and unbelievable and amazing.
What were rehearsals like for you?
My head is not necessarily, my head is in the King of King and I right now. My put-in is this Thursday, so I've been, when it all landed around the same time, I knew that it was going to have to be like, okay, take this hat off, put this hat on. But what's great about the Spelling Bee is that we all just clicked right back in like we never left, so it was great.
Favorite memory of doing the original production of Spelling Bee was what for you?
Oh my gosh, I'd have to say, a lot of the best memories come from when we did it off Broadway at Second Stage. I think it was just so fresh and it was so new, and none of us knew exactly what was going to happen with it. We were just having a lot of fun. And then even the move uptown, but there was something about that Second Stage experience. It was just so raw and innocent and sweet, and we all became really best friends. So.
Okay, going into King and I cannot wait. What is going through your mind?
You know, The King and I, obviously another show that means a lot to me. It was my first show, and I did on Broadway in '96, and I played Lunta in that part. And you know, going into it, I feel like it's already part of my DNA and part of my family and part of my bones, and I just want to go in and do it honor, and play the part, hopefully my way and the way that I want to respect the role of the King. So I'm excited to do it, and to go into a production like Bartlett Shears and Lincoln Center with Kelly O'Hara and with my former wife Ruthie, it's phenomenal. It's a dream job, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
How do you feel tonight?
Tonight was a very emotional evening for all of us. To do the show, I think the last time I did it was probably 8 years ago. And we've been putting it together over the course of like 18 hours over the past 2.5 weeks, maybe a week actually. And it really is like riding a bike, and there's things that we remember that are like, oh yeah, we had this really weird moment right now. But then it also brings us back to that time when we were putting the show together, and it was such a special moment in all of our lives. So it was a very emotional night for us on so many levels. And then, also, honoring Spook, our beloved stage manager, who is no longer with us, to like be doing it for her. It just felt like the right thing. And it was a really special night that I'll never forget.
We spoke that very first rehearsal. Half the cast was there. It was all like old home week. Nobody wanted to rehearse. You were all like catching up and like naming babies and everything else.
It was like herdling cattle. It's like no one was paying attention. We did focus eventually and put this together. And like there were things that happened tonight that were not supposed to happen, and strange mess ups. But this show is very forgiving, and the spirit of the show is born in a way that it's supposed to be scrappy and it's supposed to be a little rougher on the edges. So I feel like those moments really worked. And that was a great moment that we tried to make Sarah's water break on stage, and they created this whole contraption, and I couldn't get it to release. So I basically broke the contraption, then pressed on the small of her back to make the water finally rush out of this bag that was in her back. I mean, things like that, which, worked for us.
One night only.
One night only. Never see it again.
I thought her water was going to break tonight. You were going to have the baby on stage. You were going to name the baby.
Yeah, if her contraption didn't work, I was actually going to force her water to break, because I needed the water to break.
It was a real emotional roller coaster ride getting through this show tonight. It was like a Broadway rock concert from the second you guys walked out, right?
I felt like a Jonas brother. I mean, I was not expecting that reaction, and it really truly is a testament to the fans who love the show so much. That they showed up and that they gave us such a warm response, and were kind of a game to go along on this ride with us, because they knew, I think, that we put this together with some scotch tape and a dream.
Your show sold out in like 12 minutes.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. That's very exciting.
Bombshell, and this literally sold out overnight.
That's amazing. It's really amazing. It's a special show, and I think this cast, helped put this show together. So that the fact that we all came together was something really special. And I know Celia wasn't able to vocally do the show tonight because she's apparently exhausted. She's working on 2 hours of sleep over the past 2 weeks. But the fact that we could bring her in and utilize her at the end of the show, that's when I broke down. Seeing her come out and put that placard on her neck, I just lost it there.
Do you remember what you were thinking when you took your bow tonight?
I don't. I do remember. I do remember being very overwhelmed by just the amount of love that was coming back toward us. Cherry Jones was about 3 aisles in, and she was just beaming the entire time. And Cherry Jones, she's like the greatest actress we have on American stage, and to have her like laughing and just throwing us love was really a special thing. Her face, I'll remember her face during that performance.